What's going on, everybody? Welcome. You're watching the channel Dr.Applesauce 2. My name's Will. I hope you guys know that I love you, God loves you, that there is an awesome plan for your life. So I want to start this video off saying that Gamestop has removed the strike from my video where I went over the training guide for their new Pokemon Card TCG PSA buyback program. This whole thing that happened, and I'm going to tell you all the situation that happened with all of that, and basically talk about what I learned from this whole situation, because I did learn some lessons from this, guys, and I realized that I made some mistakes in this situation, and a little bit of an update about some of what is going on with the GameStop program. This is a really interesting thing that's happening, where GameStop is now buying and actively selling PSA graded cards, and with plans and intentions to move into Beckett and CGC and other collectibles and autographs and a whole host of other things. So it's a very interesting situation. But just to start it off, yes, I made a video a couple weeks ago where somebody had provided me the training manual for GameStop for their employees to teach them about this entire new process for the PSA buyback program, or the PSA buying program, where people can basically take their PSA graded cards in and buy those. And they had an employee gave me that, and I read over it, and that video did great. But within like 24 hours, GameStop filed an immediate copyright strike and didn't even, ask me to remove the video, just immediately copyright struck it, and that's where we were. And the update for that situation is there is the ability to reach out to the person who filed the strike against you. And so I reached out to him and basically explained the situation and said, hey, if you guys would have, emailed me or asked me, I would have been happy to put this video on private and redo the video and upload it back up. And long story short is they agreed, and with that back and forth, as long as I would take and immediately make the video private so nobody could watch it any longer, then they would remove the strike. I'd get back all of the progress that video made, basically lose the strike that's on my account, which, if you're not aware, a copyright strike on a YouTube account is a huge deal. If you get 3 of those, YouTube deletes your channel. And so long story short, we came to an agreement. They removed the strike, and I made the video private, and it's no longer accessible to anybody ever again. And I think this is an ideal outcome for both of us. I'm very grateful. So I want to say, first and foremost, very grateful that GameStop was willing to talk to me about that and give me the opportunity to remove that video without the copyright strike. So very thankful for that. Now, what did I learn from this situation? So first and foremost, I have been very hopeful and critical about this whole new program that GameStop is doing, and this whole new process where they're buying graded cards and now actively selling graded cards. And so what I learned about the situation is I believe I did very fair journalism, but I can understand having those documents shown can be something that GameStop doesn't want to happen, or any company for that matter, in hindsight. So the lessons that I've learned is that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. What I should have done, and how I will do things like this in the future if I get information that I want to tell you guys, is I should have taken that guide. I should have taken that information. I should have read it and absorbed it myself and made some notations about the key points and the key things that I wanted to talk about, and just talked about it to you guys without showing anything to y'all. I should have just talked about my points and my perspectives and what I thought without showing anything, and then we would have had no issues, and so on and so forth. So that is a big lesson that I learned. So there's the update on that. The copyright strike has been removed. The video has been removed by myself, and so no one will be able to see it, and everything's great. That being said, I'm still very critical about this program, because there's a lot of things about this that are just weird that I want to show you guys, and there's a lot of things that I'm just concerned about. So first and foremost, let's just talk about something that doesn't really make sense, because they're buying all these cards, and it seems like the prices in which GameStop is buying these cards seems to be all over the place. There's evidence of people getting $1 for cards that are worth hundreds. There's evidence of people getting up to 50 to 60% and people getting 30%. It's kind of all over the place for the cards. And then so what's happening is they're buying cards, and then it's logged into the system somehow. And then somebody is taking the PSA scans of the cards and putting those listings up on GameStop's website. So they're actually, so the pictures that you see on GameStop's website where the cards are for sale, they are the exact, so I went and a buddy of mine, one of my channel members went and did the research, and the images that are on the listings on GameStop are the exact same images that are on in the PSA database that PSA scans the cards. So GameStop is using those PSA images for the listings. Now, where is the issue with that? Well, the issue with that is, what if the customer looks at that image and says, oh, this card looks great, and somewhere between getting delivered to the customer, something happens, it gets scratched, so on and so forth. It's not the exact picture of the item that they're selling, so there is a little bit of an issue with that. But what's really strange is they're listing some of these cards, and we're seeing a huge discrepancy of prices on the front end where they're buying it. And we're also seeing some insane prices when they're selling that don't really make sense. I got a few examples for you. First example is going to be this PSA 10 Giratina V-Star Gold from Crown Zenith. They have it listed for $1,000. $1,000 for this PSA 10 Giratina V-Star Gold. This card recently sold for $330 on eBay. $330, $290 right there. Here's one for $169 in April. But recently, as recently as 2 or 3 days ago on May 24th, $330. You can go onto eBay right now. Literally, somebody has this exact card listed for $329 that you can buy right now. And GameStop has it listed for $1,000. Next example is the Vaporeon VMAX, which is the Black Star promo from the kind of the Evolution VMAX boxes. PSA 10, $800 that they have it listed for in a PSA 10. $800. Quick look over on eBay shows that the PSA 10 of this card, yes, this is English, has sold for $290. Couple best offers accepted below $270, below $299. So they have it for $800. Another one, here's a One Piece, just to show that it's not just Pokemon. One Piece card. This is the Pillars of Strength, the Kakaturi alternate art in a Gem Mint 10. They have it listed for $178. This card actively sells for $100. There's a one that sold for $99.99 right there, which is just incredible. And so I wanted to highlight that too, because we're seeing just a wide spectrum of prices for them buying things, just all over the place. Some things are fair. Some people are getting fair offers on their cards. Some people are getting really, really, really lowball offers. It's really weird. And then you go on and you look on the website and you see just some insane prices. There's stuff that they are selling that is fair priced. And then there's stuff that's just like $1,000 for a card that you can go buy on eBay right now for $330. $800 for a card that you can go buy on eBay for $250, $280. That's incredible. And so the reason to bring that up is it brings up the question, where are they getting their pricing metrics from? How are they coming up with some of these prices? Because what GameStop is wanting to do here, guys, is they're wanting to make a transition from video games into collectibles. That is absolutely what's trying to happen. They want to transition into selling graded Pokemon cards from, Beckett, PSA, CGC, graded Yu-Gi-Oh, graded sports, graded anything. And as well as collectibles, as well as autographs. They want to make a hard push, because right now it's all being sold online, but there are talks of these things being sold in stores, because there's talks of displays being sourced and stuff like that. And there's employees that have said, yeah, we're hearing talks of they planned on selling these things in stores. So what they're seeing is we're seeing a hard shift. So they're wanting to shift to this model, and they're rolling this out to such a degree. And the first thing that we're seeing is inconsistency, which is kind of bizarre, okay? And we're seeing the images from PSA scans being used to sell the card. So what that makes me wonder is that kind of adds some veracity to there may potentially be some type of an agreement between GameStop and PSA. There have been rumors, people saying that GameStop is going to start accepting graded card submissions and sending them to PSA. So the fact that they are allowed to use the scans, this might be out of my wheelhouse. I'm not sure if it's okay if you can take the scans of cards and use them when you're selling. I don't know, but that could be that. And so what GameStop's literally GameStop's buying these cards and flipping them. So, I mean, that's fine, right? But that's literally what they're doing. They're buying the cards and then they're almost immediately listing them on their website and flipping them and using the PSA scans to do it. So we're seeing really crazy pricing that doesn't make a lot of sense. And the concerns that I have are are what's the long-term goal here? If they're going to be consistently buying, right, and you're not getting cash, if you take the cash offer, you're getting a preloaded debit card. So there's, you know, like if you go in and take in a game, there's a limit to the amount of cash you can get for that game. But with this, you get like a debit card where they preload that debit card on there for you, so it's not really the cash on hand type of a thing. But some of the concerns I have are like, if they have over 4,000 stores, and let's say all of these stores for a week take in, you know, 100 cards, and that's that's 400,000 cards in a week, and let's say they do it for a month on those numbers. Now we're talking about GameStop has well over 1.5 million graded cards. What are they doing with these? What's the filing system that they have for this? How are they tracking all of these? How many people do they have on their employee and on their staff that understand these cards? Those are things that I think the public deserves to know, because if GameStop trying to make a shift from video games to this, it's a big question, right? And another concern is there doesn't seem to be any type of new hires for stores where people really, really, really are knowledgeable and intelligent about collectibles. Moving from a video game and used video games and merch to collectibles is a huge thing. They're not the same thing, and you really need individuals at the store level that are experts in collectibles to make smart buying choices and smart selling choices. And are we going to see that? Is there going to be more of that happening, or is there going to be more training for that? Because a lot of what we're seeing as people document going out to these different stores and trying to sell stuff is we're seeing employees that are incredibly confused. Even in Leonhardt's video, the employee called his manager, and you can see the manager says, "Oh, I really wish we would have taken the training on this." They have no idea about it. So many people are reporting that they'll go into stores and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can do this, but we've never done it. We have no idea to do it," and they got to go through this process. And then there's other stores where people know how to do it. So what's the actual training rollout like? Is this something that's being mandatorily implemented across the board? What is their plan for all of this? And then now we're just talking about PSA cards at this point, but they want to expand into buying other graded cards, other collectibles, other autographs. What is the process in which there's going to be experts on the team making sure this is done properly? Because I guarantee you there's going to be some point where somebody makes a video that says GameStop sold me a fake card. Or somebody makes a video that says I sold fake cards to GameStop, or whatever. There's going to be some fallout. Something bad happens. And then how's GameStop going to handle that? Because when that happens is going to be a true test and a true example of what the future is going to look like for GameStop attempting to move into a collectible space, aside from staying in this, kind of video game space that is obviously failing. And make no mistake, what we're seeing here is the last struggle, an attempt for GameStop to stay alive. That's exactly what this is. And it's admirable of them and intelligent of them to try and do this. But I still remain incredibly skeptical that they're gonna, if they can pull it off well, because what we're seeing initially is just a lot of question marks, a lot of employees that don't really know what they're doing, just a lot of, what the heck is actually happening with these situations. And so I guess time will tell, but that's where my concern lies. I think adding more exposure to graded cards and the ability to take in anything, and if you got a bunch of stuff that you don't want, you just want to get rid of it, that's a good thing. I guess that's a good thing. There are local game stores that you can do that, but a game store might say, I don't want this stuff. You might have to go back and forth, whatever. Just walk into a GameStop and hey, I got 100 slabs. I need to get rid of it today. And just to be able to do that, no questions asked, there is benefit to that, but I still remain critical. It'd be nice if it's done well, but there's a lot of other things and a lot of other factors that make me really wonder what's going to happen. These are some of the things that are going on that make me question listing cards for $1,000 that you can go buy on eBay for $350, for $800 you can go buy for $290. It's really strange. I'm not really sure where they're getting their prices. I guess time will tell how this is all going to shake out, but that's I guess we'll see. You know, maybe will GameStop still be here in a year? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think that this is going to work for GameStop, or do you think that it's going to be a fail? What are your opinions? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, my friend, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. It's actually free for you to do that. If you subscribe and hit that notification bell, all that stuff's free. Supports the channel a ton, and I would greatly appreciate it. And if you like this one, YouTube says you'll like that video too. Go watch it, and like I always say, find somebody to love and serve today. Be the change you want to see in the world. See you next time.